Good evening. I'd like to call the September meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners to order. Please stand. And pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. I got a note from Al Goldberg that he'll be delayed, but he hopes to be here. The chief is on a well-deserved vacation, and we've got key individuals, Captain Harkin from New York, to help us get through this evening's agenda. So let me first see if there's any motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to accept the minutes from August as written.
Aye.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Opposed?
Any comments? I have some comments. First, Holly, one, I think you did a terrific job kind of capturing what was very much a stimulating back and forth conversation that occurred at the meeting. But under regional shared services, you make reference to South Central scribes, and I think it might have been garbled. It was the SCROG, the anonymous for South Central Regional Council of Government. So I think the description.
Thank you.
Summary is SCROG, so you've got that.
Yeah.
Other than that, as I said, excellent translation. So, other than that, any changes to the minutes as written? Okay, all those in favor of accepting minutes as revised, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes accepted, thank you. Public comments, once again. Public is missing our meeting tonight. And now, Captain, if you can just walk us through the chief's report.
Okay. Okay, so with budget, we appear to be over budget, but this is due to some of our annual fees, okay, that we pay out in July. And we also have some expenditures in training. So we spent $3,000. We paid the town of Clinton for the use of their firearm range. We share it. We also, we sent Officer Bosma. He's going to 3 different crash investigation classes. The first is September 18th to the 19th, which is basic crash investigation. There's another one on October 27th to November 7th, which is advanced crash investigation. And in January, he'll go to crash reconstruction. Each class was $1,095. It was total at $3,285, but we had to pay it up front, even though he hasn't attended yet. So I have a list of other annual expenses, but I won't hold you up unless you want to hear about them.
Will that set him up to be our resident expert for those kinds of situations, or is that just part of it?
Yes, so he's going to be on the South Central Action and Reconstruction team.
Okay.
We have Sergeant Phillips assigned to it now, and Officer Bosma will be in addition.
Okay.
Okay?
So, because I've seen from other incidents occurred, what a terrific job is able to be done in terms of reconstructing what happened. So within the department, how many individuals do we have who have gone through that certification? You know what I'm saying?
So I'm one of them, Sergeant Phillips is another, and Officer Bosma will be. And then our goal is next fiscal year to send another, so then we'll have 4 in total.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. Captain, anything else? Questions? And it, you know, it is a startling number when you look and say, whoa,
Yeah, right.
49%, but, you know, we recognize every month in that percentage will come down and eventually catch up.
Correct. Okay, moving on to monthly training. You got?
So for the month of August, we participated in 164 hours of training. We did human trafficking training, which is a post-mandated requirement for officers recertification. And then we sent officers to some specialty training. So Officer Bosma attended a week-long detective school that was run by the state's attorney's office. So they get a great experience on arrest warrants, search warrants, rules of evidence. A lot of good material in that week-long class. Officer Moore attended the week-long SRO certification course because she is one of our SROs assigned to the school. And then we just kind of had our basic monthly housekeeping to collect NCIC, and then Sergeant Roy attended his SWAT training.
Okay.
So moving on to monthly traffic. We had, in the month of August, we had 32 accidents. Following too close, failure to grant right of way, and unsafe backing appear to be the main reason. That's what I have for that. Let's see.
Total traffic stops, so far, that's about what we do.
So we have 204 for the month.
Yeah, my question is that about what we do somewhere? I'm trying to recall from last month, we're
It's
sometime
about-
a little north of 200.
Yes.
Oh,
It's about right, yes.
okay. Okay.
So recruitment. To report here, so as Chief Drum has mentioned to you in the past, we have a potential recruit, Owen Dunn from Charleston, South Carolina. He is a former Madison resident and he's interviewed with us, he did very well. Additionally, we interviewed another lateral officer from Amtrak PD last week. He also interviewed well, and we also have a potential new recruit that interviewed with us. He is also a Madison resident. So we have potentially 2 laterals and 1 new officer that would need to attend the academy. I know I had mentioned to the chairman that we would like to get the candidates in front of you for an interview. So if you can maybe get our schedules together. I know Holly would assist with that as far as when we can set a date, because obviously Mr. Dunn would have to come up from South Carolina and kind of get organized. So the sooner you have that schedule together, the better.
Yeah, we had a brief conversation, Holly, if you can do your magic polling again and see what we can do, and as always, the sooner the better. I know it's sometimes difficult to get some of the commissioners together, but I think as long as we have 1 or 2 or whatever we can do, we will work around the candidate schedule and of course the key officers within the department. So we're kind of ready to go, with that, depending on just the schedule that we can put together. And if there's a way that we can incent or coordinate both of these laterals to do it on the same day, fine. I mean, but if as I said, if we do it the sooner the better. If we need to spread it out over 3 days because we can't coordinate with the candidates or with your schedule, we'll do it. I mean, this is, we've all recognized what a key priority this is, particularly for the laterals. The other candidate, you know better, how do we need to hit that sequence in terms of the next school, opening?
So we have an academy slot with the Milford Police Academy in November. So obviously, with that process, we'd have to do the background investigation, the pre-employment testing, so same thing, sooner the better.
Okay,
Is
so-
that enough time?
Yes, yep, but the sooner the better,
Yeah.
yep.
And Amtrak PD, that's considered lateral, they would need obviously the training.
Yes,
that
so
you guys
this
want.
particular officer was sent to the post academy in
Oh.
Meredith.
And is a post-certified police officer.
So he would be
Yeah.
able to go on the road for us much sooner than,
Yep.
say, obviously
A
an
new recruit.
academy in New Recruit.
He would be sooner than Owen Dunn to Charleston, because it's a comparative certification process, so we, thank you to Holly, he went through all of Owen's training records, and we had to compare side by side of what
Yep.
Connecticut's requirements are. So there is certain classes that he would have to attend, but there are 3-week courses, so in 3 weeks, they can hammer out all the courses that are specific to Connecticut.
Yep,
So our goal would be that is we could do that in November, but he could begin his training prior to that, so. We
okay,
could get him on the road, start his FTO process, send him to that class, and then, once he's done with FTO, he'd be on his own, fully certified, so.
but the Amtrak PD would not have to
Nope.
skip the FTO.
He would just have to do a
Goes-
4-week FTO period per our CALIA accreditation, our
Oh.
policy, and
Just to
then-
get acclimated.
Yep.
Sure,
Yeah,
okay, great.
yeah.
Good. Yep.
Okay, community calendar. So I know I believe the last police commission meeting, it was the night of the Beachcomber. I was present during that. There was an event down at Boston Post Road and Wall Street. They had food trucks, live musics, drinks, and plenty of in-store stores that were open down there for people to go and shop. It was a very successful event, crowded. I had a couple officers working down there. We had to shut Wall Street down so that people could walk freely around, but it was a successful event. Last weekend, we had the Madison Triathlon. There were over 375 participants. We had Madison police officers held various traffic points throughout the town. The event entailed an 800-meter swim, a 15-mile bike, and a 5K run. That was also successful. And coming up this weekend, we have the Pride Fest at the Green. It's from 1 to 4 p.m. There will be performers and food trucks, and the Madison Police Department will have 2 officers assigned to the Green for the event.
Do you know offhand what kind of participation did we get in the triathlon? I mean, I remember a few years ago, it was a pretty active event, but do you have any feel for the impact of it? I mean, was it?
You mean officers participate?
No, I mean, I'm talking about the number of participants just in the event, not officers necessarily, but,
So the maximum amount they can accept is 500.
okay.
So they were very, I met with the organizers a couple of times prior to the event, and they were very happy with the amount of people that signed up to participate.
I myself had a conflict and couldn't make it that
They
day.
bike right by my house, and we had to leave when they were biking by my house. It's always fun, yeah.
I myself did this one a number of years ago.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, we're close.
Self-impressed.
Okay. Regional shared services, we did talk about that last month, where I think the ball is kind of sitting with the first selectmen, both in looking at pursuing some potential options with South Central Council of Government, and also, because that may be a more extended process, we're also very receptive to trying to explore this with some of our neighboring communities, but as I understand, nothing has occurred as yet, but hope springs eternal. Okay. Correspondence? No correspondence? Traffic, I think we covered. Any new business, old business? Going through? Okay. We will be going into executive session, and I'd like to invite Jim here and to stay with us for those discussions, but, so, Doug, one of the things we talked about was just kind of taking a step back. I asked the captain to just make some observations about, our departments, the police department's experience during the summer, given the fact that we sometimes forget or just we're so inclined to realize that we are a beach community, and there is a surge during the summer in terms of visitors and population coming through here. So I asked Captain if he would just, take a step back and give us a sense in terms of what the experience was this summer, maybe compared to other summers or compared to what we expected, or just give us a perspective of given some of the things we've tried to stay alert to and introduce, such as motorcycle aspect, bikes, things like that. So, Captain?
Certainly. So statistically speaking, you'll see that as the warmer months came, the stats increased. So if you want to look right there, you can pass that down. This is from April, May, June, and then behind you'll have July. July and August. Okay, if you want to take a look at that, you can see how the statistics they go up, and we expect that. As far as the motorcycle is concerned, so we had a second motorcycle. We were able to purchase a second motorcycle. We had another officer that was certified to operate it. The good thing about that, the impact is that we had initially, when we first got the first motorcycle, we had an officer that could only operate it when he was working. So on the days he was off, we didn't have anybody riding the motorcycle. So now we have additional personnel that can do it, and we have a second motorcycle. So now, in the summertime, we have 7 days a week, we have coverage. The motorcycles are very valuable to the police department. They're involved in races, parades, special functions. The other day, we had both motorcycles out for the escort for the firefighter that was involved in the accident. So they are very helpful. Not to mention that the community engagement, the feedback that we're getting at the public really likes them. So it's been very beneficial for the police department having that second motorcycle.
Do we keep any records of the mileage of the motorcycles so that we could speak to the fact with the square miles in Madison, we have X number of miles patrolled, which would speak to the public as to how good the coverage is on the basis when they're out there?
Certainly. I think that would be something that the officer could log prior to a shift and then at the conclusion of a shift. So we would possibly be able to gather that information.
Okay.
We haven't been doing it.
Right.
I know that the officer is typically told to patrol south of Route 1. But now that we have the second one, we're able to kind of patrol elsewhere. We're also outfitting them with computers so that they're able to do more in the field. So yes, they are very beneficial to us in the summer. Chairman, as far as the summer as a whole, I think it's a normal progression with an increase of calls for service. There hasn't been any super spikes as far as something that we weren't expecting. We knew that the summer would be busier, but nothing out of the ordinary, so to speak.
If that were possible, Captain, to start some kind of a log for those statistics, I think that would speak well to the public as to how vast the coverage is in relation to the size of the town.
Certainly. In speaking to the LPRs, we have 16 cameras. Just to kind of give you a little background on some successes that we've had, if that's all right. So we had a burglary at Petrilla's Restaurant in Culinary Concepts. Madison PD developed a suspect, and the LPR hit on the suspect's car in the area the night of the burglary. So we're looking at making an arrest relatively soon. We've had a lot of the hit and run investigations. So I'll give you an example of one, let's say. So Officer Palmer investigated a hit and run case where he developed the suspect vehicle. He knew it was a Porsche. Officer Palmer got a list from Town Hall of all the Porsches in town and ran all of the plates in our system, our LPR system. The LPR got a hit on the suspect vehicle while it was being towed away for damage. It was actually on the back of a tow truck, and they caught the plate. So that was just one example that I thought I'd bring to your attention, so they're very effective. Shoplifting investigations, especially at Stop and Shop, we get a lot of calls there for shoplifting. We're able to capture license plate information of people leaving the scene, so we're able to follow up a lot better, because sometimes the Stop and Shop surveillance cameras aren't always fabulous, depending upon where the person is parked in the parking lot. Madison State Park. So another example, we had the deep officers had called, they call numerous times regarding investigations that occur in there. The latest, there was a vehicle inside the park that was a Hyundai SUV with Pennsylvania plates. They were conducting smash and grabs from vehicles, so people would park their car, they go to the beach, they're laying out in the sun, having a good time, and someone's breaking into their vehicle in the parking lot. So a search of our LPR system discovered the vehicle and the suspects. Deep's following up with that as far as arrests. I can't report if they've had success with that, but the system found the car, so it's definitely been working. To sum up, on the midnight shift where we had a lot of stolen cars, our dispatchers have a phone, and the phone goes off on an alert for a stolen car that comes in. Now, we've talked about in our Lock It or Lose It campaign, a lot of the people that would come to steal the cars often ride in stolen cars.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll come in with a stolen car looking to steal another stolen car. So when that car comes into town, we get an alert, it goes off in dispatch, they then alert the officers in the field. So that's how we do it on the overnight. Actually, all three shifts, I should say. So the LPRs, we have had some success, and we're looking to continue that. Okay.
Just for that, one of the things people may recall is when the chief presented this, it was really considered to have such a potential impact that we fast-tracked it through the Board of Selectmen. We were talking about getting it into the capital budget process, and I think we're able to make a case that of a certain urgency to this, given I think we were reacting to a number of the break-ins that were occurring. And so my sense, Captain, just in terms of what you've reported, it is evolving into a very effective tool. And one of the things I'd ask you to give some thought to is whether we should include in next year's capital budget request additional cameras. You can come up with what the right number is, but the idea, you mentioned, for example, Stop and Shop, very active area. I don't know if there's one by the railroad station, same thing, but it is, I think, just part of a tool, and the fact that we can link it to dispatch and to officers who are patrolling in cars. You can leave it up to you to say, if we had 4 more, we know exactly where we would put them. This intersection, whether it's coming out of the surf club or wherever it might be. Guilford, Clinton border.
Right.
So please give that some thought, and if we need to incorporate it, it's a little scary to think we're in September, we're talking about the budget, but that's the calendar.
So I just gave Commissioner Carledge a short report on 1 week's worth of license plate reads, if you want to take a quick look at it.
That's 742,224.
Now, some of them are the same plates,
Right.
because they're going through town, so they're getting picked up as they go along, so.
That's in 1 week.
Yes.
Wow.
And correct me if I'm wrong, in the summertime, it's over 1 million a week.
Yeah, it's a lot, so it's working out.
Did you get calls, I assume, from other towns looking for
all the time. So
suspects,
Clinton
and then
will
you
call.
share that information out?
Certainly, so another thing that we can do, so one of the reasons why we went with the particular company, Recor, is we have an agreement, so we have an agreement with other police departments. There's a drop down that we can go down, there has to be, what, 20, at least 20 different departments, New Haven, Bloomfield, and anywhere, there's so many, that we can click on their system and run the plate in their system to see whether it was in that town. So for example, we found several stolen car recoveries in the past couple of years in New Haven. So we can run the plate in New Haven, and if we get a hit on that, it could be that morning, the day before, we know it's in New Haven. So then we're able to call New Haven and they can start looking for the car. So it's very helpful. We're able to, it's almost like a force multiplier, if you will,
Yeah.
you know?
So just without getting too technical here, so if an officer is driving behind a car at 3 AM on Liberty Street, and says, this guy's driving, this individual's driving really slow, and every time he comes to a driveway, he seems to slow down, and I'm behind him, what does that officer have to do to run the plate? Does he have to type something in? Is it just something that the camera in his car will visually see the license plate? What does he have to do to say, I want to check and see if this car's stolen?
He can either run it via the computer, type it,
Type
or
it
he can press the mic and have the dispatcher do it.
Okay,
So,
okay, so he could say, 1 Alpha Beta Charlie 712.
so I can tell you, when I was in New Haven, there would be times the minute they saw the mic come up to the mouth, they were taken off. Looking in the rearview mirror. So you'd have to squeeze down here so they couldn't see the mic being raised. So the dispatchers can hear you, so they're pretty discreet. They don't want to spook anybody.
So he, again, not to get too granular here, he calls out that number, ABCDF67. How fast can that dispatcher run it up on the computer? Is it
Very fast.
40 seconds, 10 seconds?
Less than 10 seconds.
Less than
Fast.
10 seconds?
Yes.
The delay is probably the internet speed connecting to,
Okay.
if there's, but
But
they can
that's-
pull it up instantaneous and give it right off.
But that's terrific.
Yes.
I mean, that's where I don't have to be following this car for 4 minutes.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Well, look at it, if, again, you've got a, I'm not waving the flag here, but, you know, this has gotta be, you know, kind of the strategy discussion with you and the chief and saying, it'd be nice if, well, okay, then let's put it in the budget. So it's not just nice, it's gonna happen even if it takes till, you know, July of 26. This is what we wanna do. So, good.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Can you give me an example of what's the difference between general investigations and criminal investigations?
Okay, so.
Just as an example.
So criminal will involve, like, let's say, an arrest.
Right.
Like a larceny or a domestic or something along those lines. General might be a psychiatric emergency. So we don't want to say someone with
Right,
mental
it's
health
not
issues is a
criminal,
criminal.
right.
I think that's an improper label.
Yep, that's
So
fair.
we make a distinction there.
Any other examples of that? 'Cause there's a
Uh,
fair amount on this.
Yes.
Like, it's a good amount of, right, of calls for
I'm trying to, I
general.
don't have the rest of the print.
It could be, I'm sure, like a welfare check,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
an
Yeah.
assistant
Yeah.
person,
Assist a person.
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
So
a
there
neighbor
could be-
dispute, it could be.
Okay. Someone's lurking around, I'm nervous.
Yep.
Okay.
So criminal would be larceny, assaults, you know, burglary, robbery, domestic, something that's definitely criminal. Anything other than that would be general.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Okay, anything else?
That's pretty much it.
Well, look, I appreciate, you know, your remarks. I think it gives some background and consideration just for some of the statistics. I think Ann mentioned, last week, you sometimes don't get the full flavor from looking at the statistics, particularly if we're talking about something that we need to consider some future investments in. So that's helpful. Okay.
Excuse me.
Chairman, I just have
Sure.
3 things to add.
Yeah.
Just some bragging stuff for the police department. The first one, Maya Cadell, our social worker, is the person of the week in the source. She's doing a tremendous job with everything that she's
Awesome.
doing with her police bus. So there's a great article that they did for her. So like for everyone to read that, it's a great article. Second thing is today we received our state accreditation for the state of Connecticut. Katie Randall and I went up to the state, we took our picture, we were checked last month so we obviously participate in CALIA, but we also participate in the state level. So we received our Tier 3 award in regards to that, so today was the official picture day, so you might see that Facebook post as well. And then lastly, it's just something that the Madison Police Department's really proud of, is we received the National Law Enforcement Memorial Award for Comprehensive Safety and Wellness. So we received a national level award for that. We'll be receiving that later that month. I have it on my phone just to quote some, they said that we're one of the best equipped agencies for its size in the United States.
So that's terrific.
Yep.
What's the criteria?
So the comprehensive safety, I did that, is programs that demonstrate the most comprehensive approach and implementation of well-rounded safety efforts for their officers and their wellness. So we applied for our training, our equipment that our patrol officers have, but also our peer support team. So we received that on a national level, so it's a big accomplishment for us.
That is.
And it happened pretty quickly, because I remember you were talking about it after you came back from FBI, which was not even a year ago, or
Yep,
about
so
a year
we
ago?
implemented the peerness team last year, and it's been a tremendous success.
Well done, you.
And then just, the equipment that the chief and the department supplies for our officers to respond, and our training program, so it's just a whole package and everything, so.
When, remind me again, when did, first name is it Micah?
Maya. Maya Cadell, yep.
Yeah. When did she formally start? I know she was.
She
doing it-
began, I believe it was the beginning of the year, so it was January, end of January or so.
Okay.
And it's a great article. It talks about statistics, some of the outreach she's done. She's had over 170 contacts. And the position from where it started in January to where it is now, it's just expanding and expanding. And not only is she serving clients based on the police department and with Madison Youth and Family, but now she's also assisting senior services, the health department. She's doing a lot of follow-up checks. So it's a benefit for the whole community, not just for, specifically the police department and Madison Youth and Family.
Howie, we should kind of tickle to have her, maybe at the January meeting, when she began, we wanted to give her a period of time to get integrated into the department and asked her to come back and after a year and say, give us a sense of the number of interactions and, just the kind of things you talked about, the impact that this position has had. So I think we've always felt, that I know she started with us, she was in the department before I think she graduated, in fact.
Yep.
But we always felt this was, went beyond nice to have. We always, felt it was really, could be developed into a key component of how we interact with the public and things
Absolutely.
that she can do that a police officer may or may not have quite the expertise, or
Yep.
it's not that role. So if she could come back in February and say, okay, let me tell you about first year here and the impact we had.
And I could already, on 2 hands, I could count the scenarios where her follow-up services has definitely prevented another police encounter, a police call for service. So it's really been a tremendous program, and it's only growing by every day.
Yeah, those follow-ups are key, and the officers can't always get there to follow up, so
Yep.
that's what really,
Yeah, that's great.
really
Yeah.
helps.
Yep.
There's
So it's a
that.
great article in the source, so if you guys can give it a read, it's a great article.
Do we have to look, Al, for funding for the future? Because Al, she's on a grant, right? the social worker, so do we as a town, have to look for additional funding to keep that position on?
That question is being investigated now.
Great.
The answer is probably yes.
Great.
But I think it should be raised certainly as part of whatever budget package you put together.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was very shaky.
Well,
Okay, well,
clearly, we should advocate for it, sorry, that's my
Absolutely.
comment.
yeah, but it is not in our budget, is it in youth and family?
So it's in Madison Youth and Family Services.
So, but
Yep,
we can
yep,
coordinate
yep,
with them to say,
Mhm.
maybe in your budget, but
Yep.
we have the need.
yep.
So, but anyway, okay. Okay.
So that's it, that's all I had. Those are the three things. Yeah.
Okay, before we adjourn into executive session, Commissioner comments?
Just a reminder, as I'm sure everybody is aware of what September 11th means in the world that we live in, and what all the uniformed services suffered on that day, in addition to the loss of life of everybody who rushed into the building to save people. And unfortunately, it didn't work because the towers collapsed. The statistics now speak to approximately 30 personnel a year, 24 years later, lose their lives because of something that happened to them from contamination on that day. And this is just a reminder to the public as to what you guys do and what you're prepared to do under all circumstances. And everybody who's watching should just say thank you.
Well said. Ann?
No, comments?
And the comments, I think Tom kind of summed it up. Is there a motion to adjourn into executive session?
Motion to adjourn.
We're officially in executive session.
I have to say.
Yes, thank you. You know, there was just an article in the paper today that said, thank you, Howard.
Thank you.